All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show, Monday, February 6th, 2023. I got pretty good slate of NBA games tonight, some college basketball. It is officially Super Bowl week, so getting closer to the Super Bowl. Both teams are in Arizona. I think they'll do there's opening ceremonies and stuff this evening. They usually do some kind of press thing. I think it's either today or tomorrow, one of the two. You got a lot of a lot of shows at Radio Row and down there and stuff. Do it going live from the Super Bowl. I was watching McAfee. They're down there.
Yeah.
Now that'd be pretty cool to be down there at the Super Bowl, even if you're just on Radio Row like that. It'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. How's it going?
Going pretty well. Not too bad at all. Last time we was on last Friday, we did some. I did a parlays and had 6 picks total. I ended up going 4-2. Missed one of my MBAs and missed one of my college.
I was gonna say, I hope you done better than I done.
Ball State got me in college.
I went 2 for 7 on Friday. I was 2-7 on Friday. Excuse me, not 4-7. 2-7. I had one right in or 2 right in NBA, none right in college basketball. Ball State on it. They won, but they didn't cover.
Yeah.
Kansas lost to Iowa State. Virginia lost to Virginia Tech. I went 2-7, but I had 2 right in NBA, 2-4 in NBA, and 0-3 in college basketball, which brings me under 500 on the year for the first time this year. I'm 76 for 80. So gotta get back on the other side of things here. Like I said, pretty good slate of games. We'll talk a little bit about the Super Bowl because there's a lot of Super Bowl props out now. So we'll talk about that. But we'll start in NBA and then we'll talk some of the Super Bowl props here at the end before we go off air. As we get closer to Super Bowl, we'll talk more about it. But you know, I talk about it so much, this goes on for 2 weeks. But Friday we'll give out our official picks, and then as we're heading into a big weekend, you got big UFC Saturday night. Then you got the Super Bowl on Sunday. So a lot going on. First game in the NBA is going to be the Boston Celtics at the Detroit Pistons. The Celtics are 10.5 point favorites on the road. Pistons are plus 420 on the money line. Over-unders at 229.5. I like the Celtics here. This is actually moved earlier. It was at 11. But I like the Celtics at the minus 10.5. Boston is 37-16 on the season, 17-9 on the road. They're 2-3 over their last 5 games. They lead the season series against Detroit 2 games to none. 1 game was in Detroit, 1 game was in Boston, and Boston won both those games by double digits. So I like Boston tonight at the minus 10.5. Next game is the Cleveland Cavaliers at the Washington Wizards. The Cavaliers are 2-point favorites on the road, minus 130 on the money line. The Wizards are plus 110 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 222. I like the Cavs in this game. This has actually went down. It was at minus 2.5. Now it's just 2, so it's went down a little bit. The Cavs are 33-22 on the season, 11-16 on the road, 3-2 over their last 5. This will be a second game of a back-to-back for the Cavs, so that can be a little concerning. But the Wizards are 24-28, 12-11 at home, 3-2 over their last 5. I think the Cavs are the better team. I know they're coming off of playing last night, but with it only being a 2-point spread, I still like the Cavs at the minus 2.
Does Cleveland have anybody out? Because I was kind of surprised at that point spread being as low as it is.
I think it's as low as it is
because of the
back-to-back.
Yeah. And I like Cleveland also.
But they really don't have nobody out there, nobody big out. No, at least I've heard of. Okay, let me switch over to the comments real quick. Hey, how's it going, Glenn? The Pacers took a tough loss yesterday. Hopefully, we can get back to playing how we were playing before Halliburton got hurt.
I know he's excited. He's going to see the IU women play this week.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And IU's number 2 now. They
Yeah.
moved up to number 2.
Yeah, that'll be a fun time. Next game is the Clippers at the Nets. The Clippers are 8-point favorites, minus 320 on the money line. The Nets are plus 280 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 220.5. The Clippers are 30-26 on the season, 16-15 on the road, 3-2 over their last 5 games. The Nets are 32-20 on the season, 16-8 at home. The Nets are 3-2 over their last 5. I like the Clippers in this game at the -8. The Nets traded away Kyrie Irving. Durant's still hurt. Seth Curry's hurt. They got a lot of injuries. I think the Clippers are just going to be too much for them. So I like the Clippers at the -8 in this game. He says excited for the IU game, kicking off his Daytona trip with WWE next NXT at the PC.
That would be awesome.
Next Tuesday.
That would be awesome. I'll be looking for you. I'll be watching.
So he'll be on there next Tuesday. That'd be awesome. Especially in that small of a building, man. I think that'd be an awesome experience. I think it'd be a great show. Next game is the San Antonio Spurs and the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls are 10-point favorites at home, minus 460 on the money line. The Spurs are plus 360 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 239. I favor the Bulls in this game, but I'm not enough to lay 10 points. I would favor the over the 239 if I was going to pick anything in this game, because neither one of these teams play great defense. So I think you'll see a lot of points scored. I think the Bulls win, but like I said, not strong enough that I would lay 10 points. Then you have the Sacramento Kings at the Houston Rockets. The Kings are 7-point favorites, minus 275 on the money line. The Rockets are plus 225 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 237. The Kings are 29-23 on the season, 2-3 over their last 5 games. They do lead the season series against the Rockets 2-0. Both games they won by double digits.
What's the point spread on that again?
It is at 7.
Oh, it moved up.
It was at 5.5.
Yeah,
is what I originally had it at when I was looking at the games. It's went up to 7, and it was actually one of my picks. Man, I don't know if I want to stay with it at 7 or not. I'm gonna think about that for a second. The Kings are clearly the better team. Clearly, I mean, there's no doubt about it. They're clearly the better team. I think I'm gonna stick with it with it even at the 7 points. I was loving it at 5.5. 7, I'm not. I don't love it as much, but I'll still take it. Next game is the Dallas Mavericks at the Utah Jazz. The Jazz are 9-point favorites at home, minus 375 on the money line. The Mavericks are plus 300 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 222.5. The Mavericks are 28-26 on the season, 3-2 over the last 5 games. The Jazz are 27-27 on the season. They are also 3-2 over the last 5 games. Mavericks have a lot of injuries. Kyrie's not going to be playing tonight, according to what I reports I've seen. So they have some injuries. So I would favor the Jazz in this game, but not a 9. What I like in this game the best is the over the 222.5. I think the over the 222.5 is a good play, because I think both these teams are going to score some points.
I did want to ask you a question there about Kyrie, because I've heard different opinions, and everybody was going crazy once they seen that he went there, and now everybody's, since that's set in, I've seen everybody say, well, they're not going to make it to the championship anyway, and best case scenario, let's say that they get in there and they work well together. Everything goes perfect. They couldn't work together any better. Can they win the West?
I don't think so. I just don't think they have. I don't think they have enough on the bench. And when you get in the playoffs, it's going to come down to some games where your bench is going to have to help win you the game, because they take when your stars are struggling. I just don't know if they're deep enough.
How far did Dallas go last year?
They were in the Western Conference Finals.
So you don't think
against the Warriors.
You don't think adding Kyrie?
Well, they lost Brunson, and I just don't trust Kyrie. Now, if he was,
no, I'm saying
if he's 100% bought in, they might have a chance.
That's what I'm saying. Everything goes perfect. Because in the short term, you're only talking about 40 games.
If everything goes perfect, yeah, I would say they could have a chance to win the West. Because, like I said, they weren't far off last year from winning the West. They just couldn't keep up with the Warriors. But going back to just Kyrie itself, I can't trust that he's going to be all basketball from now to the end of the season. And the thing that intrigues me is I mean, name wise, it sounds awesome. You got Irving and Doncic together, but how are they going to mesh together?
Yeah.
Because Luka's a ball dominant guy. Kyrie's a great point guard. He's a good facilitator and he can shoot. So I mean, it's nice that you got another good shooter with Doncic, but are they going to be able to find a good chemistry together where both of them can play at their maximum level? That's going to be the interesting thing in this trade because Kyrie likes the ball in his hand, but Luka has the highest highest usage rate in the NBA.
What other move out there you think? Because I've heard they're wanting to make more moves. What other move out there do you think they could take that would put them next level?
They need another shooter. I've heard Miles Leonard from the Heat. I don't think that'd be a bad move. That dude that can get hot and just drain threes. He's a good shooter. But yeah, another shooter because to put around Kyrie and Doncic because both of them are good passers. So if you can get another shooter and Christian Wood get healthy, I mean, I think they're going to be a scary team if they can put it all together. But I just don't trust. I personally don't trust that Kyrie is going to.
The only plus side, if they can put it together, is the fact that I agree with you guys as far as Kyrie being there 2, 3, 4 years. You're only talking 40 games, maybe.
Yeah,
40, 50. Can he? I'm just saying, can he?
Yeah, that's the question. But look at the beginning of this season.
I know.
He couldn't from what the first. How many games have we played?
Yeah,
about 60 games.
Yeah, the chances of
we played close to 60 games, and look how much controversy he caused at the beginning of the season.
But you got to consider they've got better odds now than they did before.
Yeah, oh yeah, they do. But you know what I'm saying? Look how much trouble he caused at the beginning of the season. We're only 60 games into the season. Now since then, he's been nose down playing basketball, been playing well, and then all of a sudden, boom, this trade came up, which he wanted traded because they were working on a contract negotiation. They couldn't. They wouldn't, I guess, anywhere close. So that's what prompted him wanting traded. What was about the contract because the negotiations weren't going well. And
how do you feel they Nets did with what they got?
I think they did pretty good. I like the pickup they got with Smith, and then I keep wanting to say Maxey, but it's not Maxey.
Well, I seen what the Lakers offered.
What's the other player? That other player they got?
Dinwiddie.
Yeah, Dinwiddie. I think that's good. And I've heard the Nets might make a move here before the deadline on the 9th. And I've also heard the Mavericks might make another move before the 9th. There's still reports that the Lakers are going to try to do something. Lakers could have got Kyrie, but they didn't want to give up. Didn't want to give up players and those picks. I understand their position. Why? I wouldn't have gave up that much for a guy that you don't know how long he's going to play for.
But what hurts the Lakers? The draft picks are trying to give up are like 2027.
That's all he got.
But that's what. but that's what I'm saying.
They've already traded away the rest of them.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean,
they get Anthony Davis and.
Well, I know what you're saying, but I'm saying as a net guy, if I'm a net fan or if I'm a net person, in the office, you're talking 3 or 4 years away. How's that going to help you now? And you're giving them Kyrie Irving. I don't see that matching up.
I've heard reports that the Nets owner basically told the GM anywhere but LA,
and that's possible.
And that could be why the ask was more. Why they were asking for players too, asking for more. You know what I mean? Hey, we'll do it, but we're going to get what we think's a premium offer, and Lakers didn't want to do it. But I heard that side. I've heard that side, the owner of the Nets said that anywhere but the Lakers. After he found out the Lakers where Kyrie wanted to be, that he said anywhere but LA. It kind of surprised me that the Mavs done it, but it's going to be interesting. I mean, they did need to replace the loss of Brunson because that has hurt them. So you get another scorer. If them two can mesh together, they could be a scary team. I don't know if they're going to be good enough defensively. Is another thing that worries me because Kyrie when he's on can play some defense, but Luke is not a great defensive player.
In the West, it don't seem like they play quite as much defense. So,
that's true.
Now, once they get
Memphis plays pretty good, but most teams don't.
Once they get into the finals, it might be different if you play a Boston or somebody like that. But
yeah. But no, it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens the next 2.5 days in the NBA because trade deadline's on Thursday. So you basically got about 3 days or so.
Yep.
And it'll be interesting. I'm interested to see if the Pacers do anything. I don't think they will. I think they're going to stay with what they have, pretty much. I wouldn't mind seeing them getting Anunoby.
I would love to see it, but from what I hear, I think it's too much.
Yeah, I don't think the GM and Pacers. He ain't going to take a trade. He thinks he's getting fleeced on a little bit, so he might. I think he's probably going to hold off. But I think Anunoby would be a good addition to this team with this core.
Well, and Anunoby's a pretty good defensive player. And that's something we need.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think he'd be a great addition.
No, he would be a great addition. I can't deny that.
It just depends on how much you want to give up.
And the two players that I had seen wasn't going to kill them losing, but the draft picks.
Yeah. Well, next game in the NBA is the Thunder at the Warriors. The Warriors are 4-point favorites at home, -168 on the money line. The Thunder are +140 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 234. The Thunder are 25-27 on the season, 2-3 over their last 5 games. The Warriors are 27-26 on the season, 3-2 over their last 5 games. They lead the season series 1-0 against the Thunder this year. I like the Warriors at the -4. They're at home. They play a lot better when they're at home. What does worry me a little bit? What worries me a little bit is Steph Curry's out. He hurt his knee and is out at least through the All-Star break. So he's out. So they're not going to be at full strength. But I still think they're capable of beating the Thunder. It's not one that's going to be on my picks of the day, but I like the Warriors though at the -4. And then you have the Bucks and the Portland Trailblazers. Milwaukee's a 4.5-point favorite. -188 on the money line. The Trailblazers are +158 on the money line. Over-unders at 242. The Bucks are 36-17 on the season, 5-0 over the last 5 games. Portland is 26-27 on the season, 2-3 over their last, or 3-2, over their last 5 games. I like the Bucks in this game. Again, this isn't one that's going to be one of my picks tonight, but I like the Bucks at the -4.5. They're the better team, but Dame Lillard has been balling and keeping Portland competitive and with some comeback wins over the last week or so. So you can't count Portland out. So I think it's going to be a good game. I favor Milwaukee at the -4.5.
Do you think Lillard's one of the most underrated players in the NBA?
Who?
Damian Lillard.
Oh, Lillard? Yeah, I think he is underrated because he's in Portland. They ain't been able to put together a team that can make a deep playoff run. And then I think he gets overlooked because he's been loyal and stayed there in Portland. I think if he'd moved on and played somewhere else, he'd probably be getting more attention. But if he can get them in the playoffs and make a deep run, I think he'll start getting the respect he deserves. But yeah, I do think he's a little underrated. Glenn says Rick is getting Theis's trade value up. Yeah, I agree. I think Theis would probably be part of a trade. And he's a guy that hasn't played a lot with us, but been playing here lately and been playing decent.
Well, he was one of them mentioned in that Anunoby deal.
Yeah, it was him and I think Durate.
Yeah, Durate, and then what I didn't like was the first round and the second round pick. I forget what years of the pick.
But you also got to look at what your record is and like what number that pick going to be. You know what I mean? Because if you're up in the middle or lower half of that first round, that first round pick isn't near as valuable as you know what I'm saying. If your team's winning, you're not going to get a good first round pick.
Where's
more than likely?
Where's Anobi as far as contract?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that.
That would be the key. I mean, if he's getting ready to be off his contract, or if he's locked up for a little bit, that makes a difference too. To me, at least.
Yeah. See, Glenn says they want our spare picks, and I don't think I'd do that either. Yeah, I maybe give up one pick, but I don't know about two. For tonight, my NBA picks the other day are going to be Boston at the minus 10.5 over Detroit, Cleveland minus 2 over the Wizards, the Clippers minus 8 over the Nets, and then I'm going to take the Kings at the minus 7 over the Houston Rockets. That's going to be my 4 NBA picks for tonight.
Okay, my parlay for the NBA is I got Cleveland moneyline win at Washington, Sacramento minus 7 at Houston, and I have Golden State minus 4 at home against OKC.
Okay.
I've got an NHL if you want me to go ahead and give that.
Yeah, that works.
NHL's back. So I've got the Islanders versus Philly. I'm going to take the Islanders moneyline win. I got Vancouver at the New Jersey Devils. I'll take the Devils moneyline win. And I've got Anaheim Ducks at the Dallas Stars. I'll take Dallas Stars moneyline win. That's my parlay for NHL.
All right, college basketball. I got 3 games I like. First game is Texas plus 4.5 against Kansas. I really don't understand why Kansas is that big of a favorite in this game.
Guess just being at home, maybe.
I would say at home, but still 4.5 points. I think that's too many. I think Texas wins the game outright, but I like Texas at the plus 4.5. And then I like Marquette at plus 3.5 against UConn. I know UConn's at home. That's basically why they're a 3.5 point favorite. But Marquette's ranked 10th in the country. UConn's number 21 in the country. I think Marquette is the better all around team here. I like Marquette at the plus 3.5. And then my last game tonight is going to be IU against Rutgers, but we're at home. Wait a minute, that game's tomorrow. So is the Marquette game. Damn it. Okay, go ahead then, because them two games are for tomorrow. So the only one I have for today is Kansas and Texas. I like Texas at the plus 4.5. I thought I didn't pay attention to the time at the bottom. Yeah, them are Marquette and Indiana will be on the list for tomorrow.
Okay, my college basketball parlay. Then I do have Texas plus 4.5 at Kansas. I've got Tarleton State moneyline win at Texas Arlington. And I've got Weber State moneyline win at Northern Colorado. So that's my parlay for the college basketball.
All right, I'm gonna add a game since them two were for tomorrow. I'm gonna take Duke at the plus 2.5 against Miami. I think that's gonna be a real close game. So I'm gonna take Duke at the plus 2.5 there. So that's my 2 college picks for today: Duke plus 2.5 and Texas at the plus 4.5. Did you say you took Texas too?
Yeah, I took Texas plus 4.5.
Yeah, I think that's too many points. But, all right, we'll take a look, see if the Super Bowl line hasn't changed. It's been holding steady right at minus 1.5 for the Eagles. Eagles are minus 122 on the money line. The Chiefs are plus 104 on the money line. So that's pretty much stayed the same. Super Bowl props, you can bet the coin toss result, whether it's going to be heads or tails. You can bet the coin toss winner, who's going to win the coin toss. Total Philadelphia Eagles first downs. Over under 22.5. Will the first play from scrimmage result in a first down? Any player to record Yeah, I mean, you can player to score first points in the game. They got so many things you can bet. Uh, but no, it's gonna be a great Super Bowl. I'm gonna go through these prop bets, and on Friday I'll give out some of the prop bets that I like as we get closer. But you can get Jalen Hurts passing touchdowns, Mahomes passing touchdowns, AJ Brown four more receptions, and Travis Kelsey five or more receptions. You can get that minus 200. Either Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes to record 50 plus rushing yards at minus 150. Isaiah Pachenko, Patrick Holmes, and Jerick McKinnon to combine for 100 plus rushing yards at plus 100. Austin Scott, Kenneth Gainwell to combine for 40 or more rushing yards at plus 145. I like that because they've been giving Gainwell more touches here the last couple weeks, and he's been running the ball well. So I do like the Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell to combine for 40 plus rushing yards. I know Miles Sanders is the main back, but them two get enough carries that I think they'll have over 40 yards. And Gainwell's been breaking them off for 10, 15-yard runs here the last couple of games. Either Miles Sanders or Isaiah Pachenko to record 100 plus yards from scrimmage is at plus 200. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if that's an interesting one. I kind of like it because you get good value at plus 200. Uh, and I really don't know if either one of them will get 100 scrimmage yards. Maybe Sanders. I don't know if Pachenko will get enough touches. Any other player to have a 60 plus yard any player to have a 60 plus yard reception, you get at plus 300. Yeah, there's a lot of different bets, which we'll get more into as we get on Friday. I'll give out my best prop bets I like. We'll give out all of our best Super Bowl picks uh, on Friday's show. Tomorrow we'll do NBA, college basketball, hockey, all that again. Uh, Super Bowl MVP right now, Patrick Mahomes is the favorite at plus one. Well, him and Jalen Hurts are both at plus 130, and then Travis Kelsey is the next one at plus 1600. You can get scoring props, game props. There's all kinds of different stuff on here. Bet about you can bet about anything anymore. Like I said, I'll give out some of my prop bet picks on Friday. Did you have anything else?
No, not really. I was going to ask you a question. Well, I said something to you about what I heard about, well, I told you I thought Carr would be a good option for the Colts. What I did read, but some people feel like since people are not going to offer a lot for Carr because they feel like they're going to release him if they don't trade him. That a lot of people feel like that the Colts could get Carr for a third round pick. Third round pick, I think I'd go for it.
Yeah, and I've heard that the Raiders did give permission for him to look for a trade and talk to teams. Yeah, I think that's the better option as well. I'm not sold on either one of these any of the quarterbacks coming out, especially to move up to number one or even draft at 4. I mean,
I heard they're high on Levis. I maybe they see something I don't.
And I hear a lot of teams are high on Levis.
They say he's more pro ready, whatever that means. Maybe they played more of a pro style, but
yeah,
I don't. And I get that, there's no doubt about Ohio State and Alabama has a lot better players on their team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that makes a difference,
No, I agree.
And Kentucky played a good schedule. I mean, so I'm not, but still, it's just hard to.
But there's no way I'm moving up to number one to draft Levis.
I definitely wouldn't do that.
If I'm drafting Levis, honestly, I'd move back in the draft if I'm going to draft Levis. Because I don't know if I'd take him at 4, but that's where, I mean, if you're going to take a quarterback at 4 and you feel better about Levis and Stroud, I'm not going to kill you for it. But if you move up to number 1 to get him, I'm definitely going to be like, what? Yeah. I mean, if they do that, they must think that Houston or the Bears are going to take Levis.
I don't think
or whoever's out there.
I don't think the Bears.
I don't think the Bears are going to
take a quarterback.
I think they're going to trade that number 1 pick. So then you could have 2 quarterbacks go 1 and 2. Because I mean, you're assuming Houston's going to take a quarterback,
Yeah.
and then whoever moves up to number one is probably moving up to take a quarterback. But who's going to move up? I mean, it's because it's more and more looking like Rodgers is going to be a Raider. To me, from reports I'm seeing, it looks more and more like he's going to be a Raider.
I think so.
And then, so if he goes there, I mean, Carr's going to go somewhere. I think Winston's going to be available. It's going to be interesting, like with the Colts, because they're waiting still. They don't have their head coach. It's like, well, we need to get our head coach figured out so we can get one of these quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, it's still.
And I know we're still in season, but
I mean, it's still a ways away for the draft. But if they're just planning on going on draft and not trying to get Carr or anything, I mean, I guess there's no big hurry.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I think Carr would be a good option. I wouldn't be mad if they brought in Garoppolo. I think Garoppolo's a winner. I know some people ain't real high on him, but I like him. But I think Carr would be great. Other than that, maybe Carr and Garoppolo. I don't know who else would be available. I mean, unless something happened, Lamar Jackson ended up, or hey, I mean, if you had an end where you maybe were an option for Aaron Rodgers, I mean, I wouldn't be against that either.
Would it be a worry though with Garoppolo that it's more the system? If he's not in the right system, that he's not going to be successful.
I mean, it could, but he played pretty good in New England when he had to come in and play.
He did.
I mean, yeah, I would say some of it could be the system, but I think he'd be better than what Matt Ryan was last year. Because
that ain't gonna be hard.
Well, I'm just saying because he can move. You know, I mean, I know you're bringing in an older guy, but he can move. But that's the worry about with him. They must not be sold on Ellinger at all. At least I don't think so. So I don't know. I think you move back in the draft. And if you want to take a quarterback in the draft, take one. But
my
sign a guy like Carr.
I'd like to see him take. And he might not be there. I'd like to see him get Carr. No people's gonna kill me. I'd like to see him get Carr. Maybe I don't know what you take with the fourth pick or if you move back, but then hoping that he would still be around in the second round, get Hooker from Tennessee.
Yeah, I'd be fine. I'd be fine with Hooker.
Because that gives Hooker a couple years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna draft a quarterback, move back, get rid of that fourth round pick unless there's a lineman that you think is real good. Because we do need an offensive line.
Because everything I've seen, Hooker is about at least he's behind 4 people. A lot of people feel like Richardson's ahead of him, which I'm not saying that he is, but I mean, right. Yeah. A lot of that could be because he's hurt. Yeah. But you know, they got Richardson, of course, the Ohio State quarterback, the Alabama quarterback, and the Kentucky quarterback. So there's 4 that's going to go before him. Do you think 5 is going to go in the first round? I don't
think so either.
So I think there would be a possibility of the Colts being able to get Hooker in the second round.
Oh yeah, I think there would be good. So I think their second round picks pretty early in the second round too.
And that too. If you trade that 4th round pick, you maybe will get another a couple of first round. You know, who you get more picks. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting what they do. But here's the thing, though. People act like the Colts were just way off. We wasn't. I mean.
You remember
we had. I mean,
in the season we collapsed.
Yeah, we're in the season. But I mean, we beat the Chiefs. Should have beat the Eagles. I mean, honestly, think about it. We should have beat the Eagles. Blew that game. Led that whole game until the end and blew that game. We beat the Chiefs, the 2 teams in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
But then we would go lose to teams like Houston.
Well, the other key factor is, Chris, the division we play.
Oh yeah,
we shouldn't be that. I mean, it shouldn't take us that much. To be able to contend to win a division to get to the playoffs. Because, I mean,
Jacksonville's getting better. Tennessee's kind of like we are right now in a limbo.
Same way with Houston.
Houston's rebuilding.
They got a lot to do too. So them 3 teams we're quite alike.
Yeah.
And Jacksonville's not way ahead of us.
No.
I mean, they're ahead of us.
They got the quarterback. That's where they were ahead of us at.
Got a good young running back also. And they got some decent receivers. I mean, they did a good job last year. We got a good coach. Well, we got to get a good coach, and we got to find a quarterback. But we're being in that division. We're not far off from getting into the playoffs.
No,
that's the big key. People say, well, the Colts are so bad. No,
yeah.
we're not in that bad of shape. If we
fix that offensive line and find a quarterback, and we'll be a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
I really believe that. We got a we got a pretty good defense, got a good running back. I think we got a decent receiving core. I think we need to add something.
Definitely. Well,
but I think Pittman's developing good. I think damn it, the guy that was always hurt and done good this year.
Paris
Campbell. I think he showed what he could do.
Well, you know who wants him?
Who?
Carolina's coach.
Oh, I bet. Oh, you're going to you might see quite a few former Colts over here with Carolina.
Yeah, I heard he's already looking.
But no, Campbell stayed healthy this year, and he played well. He showed that he could be a true, at least a true number 2, maybe like a 1B to if we get, you know what I mean, from on the other side. He showed that he could explosive.
I think
he finally stayed healthy.
I think he'd be a true number 2, but we've got to get either get a true number 1 or enough help.
Yeah.
For I still feel like the guy we have could be a true number 1, but he's got to have help.
Yeah. Well, I think if we could get a tight end that was a real pass threat, I think that would really help. I think that's where we're lacking is we didn't. And I think that Woods it showed flashes, especially in the red zone, and they were real high on Ogletree.
Yeah.
So hopefully one of them guys, if one of them guys could really excel, I think that would really help our offense.
I think between Granson, Ogletree, and the other guy Woods, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, we just turned easy money into Colts talk for a minute, but it'll be all right. Before we get out of here, my picks for tonight: NBA, I like Boston at the -10.5, Cleveland at the -2, Clippers at the -8, and the Kings at the -7. In college basketball tonight, I like Duke +2.5 at Miami and Texas +4.5 at Kansas. That's going to be my picks for tonight. Do you have anything else?
That's it.
Before we get out of here, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We greatly appreciate it. At Gonzo Sports Room, also at the All Sports All Plays Network. Like us or follow us on social media: Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room, and at the All Sports All Plays Network. Join us tonight, 6:30 p.m. We'll be doing our 2022 Wrestling Awards show. Come join us for that. That'll be at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find it at Gonzo Sports Room and at the All Sports All Plays Network, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. And then also tonight we have GSR Gonzo Sports Room at 11 p.m. Eastern. Come join us for that. We'll talk Super Bowl. We'll talk the Kyrie Irving trade, talk some other NBA news and other NFL news that's coming up. Got the NBA deadline coming up, so you're going to be a lot of NBA news around the next few days, and with the Super Bowl. We'll have some updates on that. So join us tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern for that. We appreciate everybody watching. We will be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. Hope everybody has a great day. See you tomorrow.